Hi, I'm Chris Cunningham. I run Cunningham Woodwork, and tonight we're going to do a vlog. Hi! We're going to show you how I turned this handle for this mallet. So stay tuned. I don't know if the camera can see that or not. Man, there's a lot of curl in that. Way more than I expected. So let's keep rolling. Now I was using my roughing gouge just because it's so much faster, but we are going to go ahead and switch to a woodpecker's round tool, midi size. So let's see how it goes. Something to think about when you're using one of these. You got to adjust the height to where you're hitting the center. There we go. Getting close. One thing I'm noticing that's interesting going from a gouge to a carbide tool, one, I'm expecting that to be hot, that's why I'm not touching that. But when you're using a gouge, you got a back bevel that you're going to ride on, and you can literally ride that bevel on the back and adjust it flute up, or 45, and you can actually ride that bevel against this, and that bevel is your line. And whereas it seems like, with my experience with the carbide tools, that you have to move your tool rest to the angle that you want and let your knuckle right against the tool rest, and then that creates your line. At least that's how I've always done it. So, but I'm not super experienced, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna get a defining tool, a detail tool on this, that guy right there, and we'll go ahead and get this down to where we want it down here, because it's a little hard to get to that point. Actually, I might be able to back off the tailstock and pull this out just enough. There we go. It's a good, nice hold, and we'll keep that tailstock in place until we feel like we're in the clear. So I lied. We're gonna get out another tool. We'll get out the square one, and I'll get it down to where I want it, and then we'll start getting it nice and flat. This should do that pretty easily. And we'll get a good round on the edge and get a feel for it, and get our hands on it and see what we think. getting pretty well where we want. And see, one thing I like about Dima is his shape. But one thing that I want to try, I don't dislike it, but at the same time, I got a little bit bigger hand than I'd say the average guy, maybe not the average woodworker, but the average guy. So I'm trying to get it to where his hammers hit me right here. I want one that hits me more out here. So you can kind of see when I rest my hand right there, the head of the hammer is going to be right here in my grip. And so, it's just to try it. And if it is, a total fail, I'm at peace with that, But it actually feels pretty smooth. I'm going to round off that edge just a little bit. And then we'll remove the tailstock. We'll smooth out the end of it, pop it off, and see what it looks like. Well, that was a catch, but I only have, I don't know, less than half an inch to bite right there, but I think I can go ahead and tighten this all the way back. And just so we're centered, let's get the tailstock up there, and then we'll tighten this up. Other way. It's kind of funny using a mandrel chuck for drill, essentially upside down, sideways, however you want to look at it. So from there, that should be more secure. Let's get a nice, good, tight pull there. And let's try that again. Hopefully without it. That don't look good. All right. But hey, we're getting there. So it's maybe one of those things. Tighten. Maybe one of those things where we use a little detail tool in there, and then we might have to sand it. Alright, let's try that. And I don't know how many of you still use these little strips here, but I always like them because instead of going straight on, you can hold them at an angle and it'll kind of bridge some of the low spots. And it flies right out of your hand if you mess up, which I do from time to time. Kind of a short piece, that's okay. Going pretty smooth. I'm liking it. I don't remember what grit this gets down to. I'd have to look at the box, but I'd say we're in like the 300 or 400s, which for all intents and purposes, that will be fine for me. I mean, you can go as crazy as you want. But I think that has a pretty nice finish. I might sand it a little more at the end. You can see some scratch marks. go. So, because I just want to attach this and put it to use, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to call it done. I'm going to put on my apron so I don't ruin my clothes with my wood finish. But let's see if we can't find it first. There we go. Most worn out can I have. It's been through it. Careful with glass. And we have some gray Scotch pad, and we'll turn the lathe way down, and we'll go ahead and work this in and see how it looks. Really scraping the bottom of this jar. Might need to order some more. Alright, so for now we're going to go ahead and let that sit for a minute, and then I'll get me a cotton rag and we will buff that dude to a nice shine. So let's spin it around. Oh man, look at that. That curl. And so, completely epoxy stabilized brass hammer handle. All done. So, aside from buffing it out. So there you have it. There's my new handle. Get you zoomed in there. Looks pretty sharp. So, after I turned off the camera, I actually had to narrow this down just a little bit because it didn't meet quite to the head. It was sitting a little bit proud, and I also had some trouble with the threaded screw in the middle. It wasn't holding tight here, and then it was shorting up to here, so I had to take it out and had to re-epoxy it. No big deal though. So you can't plan on little stuff like this that you've never done before to go perfect first time, but I think that for my first mallet, well, let's say our first brass hammer, I think it turned out awesome. So hope you enjoyed, and if you like this video, go ahead and hit subscribe, and hopefully I'll have some more of these coming out. Thanks.